Welcome, friends, to another episode of Toolbox Tuesday. The humble number 2 Phillips head screwdriver is a very, very common tool. It's something you're going to have with you at almost any given time. So let's kind of dissect them. I'll tell you which ones I do like, which ones I love, which ones I don't like, and all of the above. So let's just get straight to it. First off, I'm going to focus on just the regular number 2 Phillips screwdrivers. You have a variety of different handles here. This one is a Tekton. This one is made in the USA, as you can see here. It does have the lettering on top. It has a chrome shaft and then a black industrial tip. So this screwdriver is pretty nice. And as you can see, it does attract a lot of dirt. So I did buy a whole set of these. And I do like them. I do like the handle on them. But what I will say is, on this handle, I feel like it's just a little bit too short for me. So with it being a little short for me, this one is not the most comfortable and therefore it's not my go-to. These two here are a little bit different. They are electrician screwdrivers. So you have a insulated shaft to help protect you when you're working on something that has power. In my case, lithium batteries, as you can see here, this one already has a wear scar, so I did arc this, but the insulation saved me from getting shocked, so that's pretty nice. With that being said, I do have two different types. These are actually both made in Germany, so this one is the Wiha or Viha, however you want to say it. I say Wiha. You can see right here, made in Germany. Up to 1,000-volt protection. This is a nice feeling handle. It's round. It does fit a little bit better in my hand than the Tekton. I do like the round shape. It is about the same length as the Tekton, so there is that shortcoming. You have the standard black tip, and you can see this one actually has quite a bit of wear because it's gotten a lot of use. Now we are into the Wera screwdriver, and you can see this one also has the 1,000-volt rating. It's a number 2 identified on top. I did not show that on the Wiha, so it does have the number 2 on it as well. This handle right here, even though it's a bit shorter, the shape of the handle fits nicely, and I do prefer this shape. It feels good when you're working on things, not only holding it in this position, but sometimes when you're kind of manipulating the screwdriver in the palm of your hand this way, it also feels really solid. And that's why this one lives on the test bench here, because it gets a lot of use. I like the way it feels. And if you look closely, you can see little serrations right there in the tip of the blade. And those will hold a screw like none other. Before we get into the multi-bit, let's go to the snap-on here. This one has the industrial finish on there. This one also gets quite a bit of use and is held up well. It does have the assist right here in case you need a little more torque. This one, out of all of them, feels the best to my hand. This one just fits perfectly in my hand when I'm using it, whether it's like this or whether it's just standard holding it. I just prefer this screwdriver handle the most. For my most used screwdriver, it's hands down the Klein Tools 11-in-1 screwdriver. So if you haven't ever had one of these, there are some downsides. The shaft is pretty thick. You're not going to get it in tight spots. The upside is you have basically every bit you could want. So you got a Phillips and flathead on this side, a number 1, and a smaller flathead on that side. You also have a nut driver on this side. You can flip this over and you have your Torx bits. I don't remember the specific size right now. Then you also have the Robertson or square drive bits in this end. And you also have one more nut driver on this side. So if I'm doing anything around the house, this is a screwdriver I'm grabbing because it's the only one I need. I don't need to grab other bits and worry about it. It is bulkier. It is heavier than the others. But the thing I do love about it is this handle. I love the Klein Tools handle. It just feels really nice in your hand. It is a little bit shorter. Just kind of a classic handle. I mean, it's old school, but it works. And I really do love the handle, and I really do love this screwdriver. If you told me I could only pick one of these, this would definitely be the one. Closely followed by probably the Wera, and then the Snap-on, and then the Wiha, and the Tekton would be last place, just because I don't like the handles. I think it gets a little dirty, and it just wasn't what I'd hoped it would be. That's it for the standard screwdrivers. You have one multi-bit here. Let's go into the mini screwdrivers and check those out. Alright, so I did cheat a little bit, and I included some flat blade screwdrivers here just for comparison, because you're going to see in a minute what I'm talking about. I also included the stubbies in the mini screwdrivers, even though technically they're not mini screwdrivers. But a stubby is useful in many spots that you can't fit a standard screwdriver handle. You can see the length difference here. You're going to be able to use this in a lot of spots that a standard screwdriver will not fit. Now, if you're going to use stubby screwdrivers, my recommendation is to get a ratcheting stubby screwdriver that is also a multi-bit. You guys probably know by now that I love these multi-bit drivers, and a stubby ratcheting multi-bit driver even better. And this thing just feels so nice. So this is a Doyle. I think they're made in Taiwan, China somewhere. You can get them at Harbor Freight for around $11. This is an easy purchase, and I would recommend this to anyone. Listen to that. Let me get a little closer. So this thing is just beautiful. I really love this little stubby screwdriver. It gets a lot of action if I need something shorter than a standard screwdriver. Now, going into the true minis, you have a few different styles. You have these, which are your pocket screwdrivers. These are the little snap-ons. This one's a Phillips, number 0, I believe, and a flat blade. Now, see, these flat blades are probably better for pocket screwdrivers to me than a Phillips, because there's a lot more uses for a flat blade in your pocket. You can use it as a little mini pry bar. You know, that's what people are going to do. You can also get into some Phillips screwdrivers with this size of flat blade. So if you're going to carry one in your pocket or over the other, you're going to want the flat blade over the Phillips. This is not a screwdriver, but why not just carry a little pocket pry bar? Really cool. I love these little pocket pry bars. I might do a video specifically on pry bars all the way down to the pockets. Let me know if you guys want to see that. So the other option is to get a multi-bit. This one is an SK, also made in the USA. So you have a longer shaft on this one than the standard. You got a little bit smaller handle. It is also a pocket screwdriver, but this one has two different pieces to it. So you have a flat blade, and you also have a Phillips head, which I believe on this one is a number 1. So for a long time, this was my standard go-to pocket screwdriver, and it served me well. It is a little bit longer, like I said, than the standard. It's a little bit thicker, but you can still get in the spots you need to with this. Now, on to another multi-bit. This is the Klein 4-in-1. So you already know I love the Klein handles, and to be honest, I'm a bit of a Klein fanboy. This one, you have a multi-bit just like the bigger one. This is my favorite tool right here. This is the best amp gain adjustment tool you can get. But you also have this side right here. This is just a very solid pocket screwdriver. Anytime I'm adjusting amp gains or doing some fine delicate work, I love this. And it has the bonus feature of a spinner, so you can spin it in the palm of your hand just like this. And that is what makes this my favorite mini screwdriver. It doesn't have a pocket clip like the others, but if I'm grabbing one mini screwdriver, this is going to be it. It's just another Klein tool that I love. So now you guys, if you didn't know before, you do know that I'm a Klein fanboy, even though I do have some nicer screwdrivers like the Snap-on, the Wiha, or the Wera. I'd like to thank all my Patreon supporters, but the 6-star or more members get a special shout out, and that is 2001 Monolithic, Gene Nava, Joaquin Juarez, El Fuego Audio, Travis McClendon, Brandon Hanna, William Berg, Boxboy Audio Sound Solutions, Jesus Tires, Dennis Cromwell Jr., Scott Dilbeck, D. Stewart, David Kozlik, Scott McCord, Matthew Tolberg, Cornut, Trucker 9000, Bobby Burkett, Kevin Lautner, James Childers, Baba, Thomas Marshall, Living Loud with Andy, Neil Nato, Chris Cogburn, Lars Madsen, and Old School Stereo. For as little as $2 a month, you can join the Patreon team and get exclusive Patreon-only content, including a monthly Patreon-only hangout stream. It's a really good time. You guys are missing out, and if you want to join, check me out at patreon.com/HifiVega.